That's entertainment. Kind of a very short reference to, I think that's Superconductor by Rush. If you're a Rush fan like me, it's a good song. Very underappreciated. Anyway, well, that kind of goes into a video that I'm going to talk about today. Another pandemic talk. This is Dustin DaHusky. Let's literally talk about entertainment, or the act of entertaining yourself during this pandemic. And hey, let's get into this. So, we're cooped inside. If you're actually literally following CDC guidelines, you're going to try to stay as much away from people as you can. Stay away from as much human contact as you possibly could. Yeah, we're social creatures. This is nothing new that I've mentioned before. It's hard, but sometimes you just got to do it knowing that you have to do your part. You really have to do your part to make sure that we flatten the curve, which we've been trying to do since March, and we still can't, as Americans, figure out a damn way to do that. Well, hey, this winter, it's possible. I mean, it's flu season, but it's totally possible if Americans go out of their way and they buy themselves a game cabinet. Yes, game cabinet. I'm talking about a good old arcade game cabinet. Put in your basement, put in your garage, but mostly put in your basement. Have fun. You could put it on play by quarters, or playing each game with quarters, but, you know, forever loop where you don't have to. But from what I've been told is that game cabinets, both retro or not, well, I would say modern reproductions of arcade cabinets and originals from collections, or you know, just bought here and there from people after or owner after owner after owner, from someone's old arcade studio, that these arcade games, pinball machines, really any kind of type of old classic games that was fun to do back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, have become popular once again, this time in full force. Often enough, you can't get close to any of the prices that these machines are going for today. Most notably, pinball machines. And it's incredible that manufacturers that are currently producing arcade cabinets and pinball machines, they have such a back order. The end of their list, at the end of their list right now, would take 6 months to complete every order. I think it's Williams. Williams is based out of Chicago. I did not do any research. I know enough about arcade and pinball games. Not enough to really be a nerd about them, but I know enough, or at least have noticed. But the majority of all pinball machines are made in Chicago. If you ever heard that there is a huge pinball convention in Chicago, well, Chicago is one of the, actually is not one of the, it is the world's biggest hub, both for sales market and production of pinball machines. And the major manufacturers that make them, they've doubled in cost. Their waiting lists have literally reached 6 months long. And existing pinball machines are going through the roof. In any condition, just going through the roof. That's incredible. That's one part of the economy that's being stimulated quite well, which is great. Every sector of the economy is getting either stressed or seeing some booming sales. Whereas in the automotive sector, brand new cars are going to be at a shortage for quite a long time, maybe for a year, maybe 2 years, depending on, what goes on in this pandemic. Certain sectors are going to suffer, while some expand and see record profits that they've never seen before. And, if people are going to stay home, not do anything, they're going to keep themselves entertained. Yeah, you have the Xbox. Yeah, you have your PlayStation, which I have neither of those. Because I'm a loser. Oh. Well, I just don't have the time, and I have better things to spend with my money. Although I would love to one day. That'd be fun. But right now is not the time. There's other things I'd rather pay for right now. But classic, retro, modern recreation or original arcade cabinets and pinball machines are just absolutely going through the roof. Just people are buying them. And they're putting them in their basements, they're putting them in their dens, their living rooms, just to kind of have fun. They're just to maybe relive a bit of their youth a bit in some ways, but hey, it's really fun. You can actually spend some good time playing games. There are so many games I would love to buy if I could. Would love to buy Tempest. It's my favorite arcade cabinet. I just like it. Vector graphics. I'm a sucker for vector graphic games. It's just fun. I should make a list of arcade cabinet games that I enjoy playing. Maybe another video. Maybe a future video. So, entertainment. You kind of have to find something just to kind of do for the time being. Whether if it's darts, whether if you want to play Tron, or 1942, or 1943. Or you really like to play Joust. Oh, Joust. That's a fun game. Absolutely love Don Bluth's animation style. It's a fun game. Or Altered Beast. So, or actually even this too, I haven't thought of this either, board games. Yeah, you can be bored playing games, but I've noticed that board game prices are kind of going up in price. Not by a whole lot compared to arcade cabinet or pinball machine. But I do notice that some board games have risen up in cost a bit because people are buying more of them just to stay at home, either to invite the occasional friend or, families getting together, play games again, which is something that my family did a lot growing up, which is kind of nice. It has a bit of nostalgia to it. I've been playing a lot of Settlers of Catan lately, which is my favorite game. I have many favorite board games. Damn, I should make another video of just board games I just enjoy. Card games, board games. Another idea. So, you gotta find something to do, because you can only be on your phone for so much before you get bored of that, on your laptop. Even after a while, YouTube kinda gets a bit boring. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on YouTube, but sometimes it's good to unplug. It's just good to waste away 4 hours in an afternoon just playing a game. It's actually often enough the best kind of fun you can probably do. It is the best type of fun one can do, because you get good memory. You enjoy a game, you play the game a lot, so you're going to get to know how to play it better and get more competitive, and to be honest, that adds to the fun. And some board games are built in a way that you can make each game fully unique than the others. Like, every single game will be 100% unique. There'd be almost no way it could be played the same unless you were to play it exactly the same if you wanted to. But you don't have to, but you can certainly play it the same way. Whether if it's a default tile Jesus Christ, who the hell fell? Must be the cat. My floors are very, very thin. It's kind of annoying. Anyway. So, you kind of have to keep yourself entertained and entertained. Sleep hasn't been good to me. You'll have to keep yourself entertained somehow, because you're going to drive yourself nuts if you did nothing. And you're going to drive yourself nuts if you do the same thing over and over and over again. Then you got to break the monotony just by doing something fun and different. Sometimes going back to old classics is maybe the way to go. So, consider some of these options. Although, if you're going for video arcade or pinball, you may be on a waiting list, and you may as well just buy board games at this point. Unless you do have currently said things, you're ahead of the ball. You're a trailblazer. Actually, board games and card games, tile games, yeah, fun stuff. Something to do, and something to consider. So, definitely something I've been reevaluating and doing a lot more recently, and honestly I am much more happy for it and looking forward to do more of it in the coming months, the coming year. I doubt 2021 is going to get any better. It might get better, but it won't get any more interesting than what it is currently going right now. So, hey, sometimes you just got to find something that puts a smile on your face. Yeah, you could look at your phone for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours at a time in your afternoon. Yeah, that's something to do. You're not absolutely doing nothing, but you're also kind of doing nothing, but you're still doing something. Or you could play a board game with someone, or a card game. And sometimes, when you say you only play one game, then all of a sudden you realize you're playing 3. Or playing 5, you start to realize it's a lot more fun than you expected. And you are anxious to do it again. And excited. Which is how games entertainment should be. It's just a break of the norm. So, maybe look into something like that. Because I'm certainly looking online to get new games, because I love Settlers of Catan. Okay, I may as well go through a few of my favorite, at least card games. Maybe go into a deeper dive in the future of what exactly I like for games, just as a list. But my favorite tends to be, of course, a classic, Cards Against Humanity. I like that. Choking Hazard. Exploding Kittens. Suru? Suru. It's like a Japanese tile game. Soro? I forget. Power Grid. Infinite City. Of course, Settlers of Catan and their subsequent expansions. They're quite nice. Although I like the original, but sometimes it's nice to branch into other stuff. I like the card game Idiot. It's just a fun game. It's very simple, doesn't take long to get. I think you could play with multiplayer, but it's good with one other person. Actually, it's probably better with one other person, but you can play with more. It's also known as Solitaire's Delight, but mostly Idiot. It's a good game. So I'm already at 8. Oh, Roll for the Galaxy. Let's see. I like playing Risk. Alright, so there's already 10 right there. Oblivion. Oblivion's a fun game. Oblivion was fun. What others? I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, some of these games are really, really fun, and I enjoy playing them. These are games that once I got to learn, I slowly drew an appreciation for them as they provide a good enough challenge. They might be confusing at first to play, but once you get into the hang of things... Oh, wait a minute. It's kind of like Armageddon. It's like a play on words with Armageddon, but I'll have to look more into it. Yeah, you know what? If you can name a few card games, Mexican Train, just like Dominoes, but slightly different. French game, Mille Bon. I'm losing my French accent, so it's hard enough to get nasally with French, because you have to get nasally with French. Nasal. So, yeah, look into games, get yourself entertained, keep yourself busy with some of your close family and friends with some good times, kitchen table, open up a few board games, open up a deck of cards, or if you got the money and you got the space, get yourself some good cabinets, because you're going to need it for the long haul for this one. Because you're probably not going to go anywhere anytime soon, and if you can, be safe about it. But for the most part, I don't think I'm going out of my state at all. I've only been out of my state once this whole year. Actually, twice. I've been out of this state twice. Back in January for a reenacting unit meeting, but this was before the pandemic was really known, so kind of pre-pandemic. And, well, last month for Laugh Softball. That's the first time during pandemic I've ever traveled outside of the state of Wisconsin, so really didn't do much traveling. It's fine by me. It keeps me home, saves me gas. There we go. So this is Dustin DaHusky, another pandemic talk, this time about entertainment. Happy playing.